Well, run back inside, darling, you know, is what I'm here for. Do you know something? I would go as far to say it's probably the most famous, admired guest we've ever had on Stick to Football.
I like that.
And we had some good guests on.
I know, yeah.
What was the year that Liverpool won the title under Klopp? Was it 2020? 20?
And 20.
20. It was 2020, it was COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah. Because we won the Champions League 19, League 20.
All right, that's for Champions League. I think that's your roll of honours. Oh, we're here. Do we like afternoon records better than the morning records?
No, morning.
You like the morning?
No, morning, get it out the way.
Morning, yeah.
You got the same
like
tops on?
afternoons.
No, mornings, Jim.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh,
Cute. That is cute. You've both got the same tops on.
No, it's a bit different. He's got a bit of light green.
I was saying, is this the most famous, admired guest that we've had since we started doing Stick to Football?
Probably.
we'd be up
Yeah.
there, yeah.
Probably.
I think so, yeah.
I don't think you get any bigger than this.
And I'm eating half a strawberry.
Here we go.
You would be the options.
You don't get any you don't get any bigger
Cup
than
of
that.
tea.
Yeah, you didn't.
Hello, lovely to meet you.
How you doing?
Any,
We were just debating whether you're the most famous, admired guest we've had since we started.
We weren't
I wouldn't
debating.
think I've got much competition.
We all said yes.
We all agreed. We said yes.
Would you like a tea or
Roy?
anything?
I thought it was licensed.
You went on something? I think
That's-
that's... You're in tea or coffee?
Tea.
What is
You want
this?
some milk, though? You want
Aye.
milk?
What tea is this? Is this...
Come on, Kieran.
No,
beer.
tea that. So I'll get the normal.
Could I get a
You
proper
get your normal,
cup of
that's
tea,
like
Kieran?
decaf.
And us,
Proper,
please, Key, mate. Thank you.
like English breakfast.
See that milk?
Roy drinks decaf. Why do you drink decaf?
Because I drink loads of tea. So I
Oh,
might as well
so
drink the decaf as...
Does it
Less
keep you
caffeine.
awake, the caffeine?
No, not... I don't... Because I drink loads of it, I might as well drink decaf.
Yeah, okay, good point.
No, I like drinking it. It's not as if it's chore to me.
Yeah.
You go to all the games, and all Liverpool games.
No. I've been to most of them this year, but
Yeah,
6. I've had 6 games.
yeah,
Some of them are awkward to get to.
yeah. The away games, you mean?
Aye.
Or getting in the grounds, you mean?
Aye, getting to Palace or Palace.
Palace
and-
has always been a problem.
Tottenham.
To get to. Tottenham.
Yeah.
Is
Hard work.
everyone stopping
No,
you
it's
for
no hard work,
selfies?
but it's choker.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
get away from Tottenham.
After the game, yeah.
Some stadium, but
Yeah.
there's 60,000 people try to get away.
Kenny, you're having this tea, yeah?
Aye, please.
Chill, new jack.
I know this is
Was
the,
yours when I took it.
this is the ARNE jacket.
It's really nice. I like
I think it's actually unisex. You could wear this.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. It retails at.
The reason we've moved this to the afternoon is because he's just won an award in... Can you know about your
Say it
award
properly,
in
say
Bilbao?
the team properly.
Athletic Club.
Club, yeah. You
I don't
just...
text Kenny every time I get an award.
You're texting him all the time.
If you did, he wouldn't be inundated with texts.
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah,
It was for one club man, so Athletic Club. Athletic
Bilbao.
Bilbao.
Oh,
Yeah,
aye.
see, we're going to get in trouble. And we were talking fondly of the games in '84 on the way to the European Cup, wasn't it? You played Bilbao, or you played...
Rusty scored
Yeah,
the
away.
winner over there.
Yeah, yeah. It was the first game was 0-0, wasn't it?
Aye.
I think at home, yeah. Rushy got the winner. They were speaking, because that's the famous team over there. They won the league,
Aye.
Athletic Club.
Yeah.
They won the league in '83
Keep
and
saying
'84. Yeah, so Liverpool played them on the
Liverpool
way.
beat them in what, the quarter-final or?
I think it was it wasn't the semi, it was the quarter-final, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And won
Right.
the European Cup.
Right.
Right.
He said, I'd like to offer you the manager's job. I said, Peter, I've just signed for 4 years as a player. Yeah, he said, player manager. I went, why?
Were you still getting changed in the...
No, I get thrown out of there. Beat them 10-0 in the first leg, and Big Jock says, we're putting you on. I went, you're taking a chance, aren't you?
Van Dijk or Hansen?
Have you not learned nothing over this last hour?
What?
You will never answer that.
I know
Some of it's like Roy the Rover stuff. He puts himself in a team, they won 11 out of 12 and win a double. But that doesn't happen.
I used to come with my Everton kit.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Yeah.
Oh, you used to go to Liverpool, innit?
Yeah, she used to call me Sharpie, yeah, because I was Graham Sharp, the centre forward then.
But I never wore a Rangers
tried it. You should have
at
tried that
Celtic.
once,
Oh,
yeah.
no, I don't think so.
Kenny, you've got a documentary out.
Ever?
And
You have, and we're going to watch a little
Let's
bit
have
of
a
it.
look at it.
oh, yeah.
We're going to watch a little bit of it. Let me hope we get this right. Here we go. So I'm at Amazon Prime.
My wife. It was a complete and utter fairy tale.
He's good in Asif.
He's on the
Yeah,
Maradona
he's the one who
isn't
done the Maradona and the centre.
Oh, you know, Kenny Dalglish.
When I joined Liverpool, I was just terrified.
Do you think you're worth all that money?
I never paid it, I don't know.
We soon came to realise that this was a new era.
And he's curled it in!
And Dalglish was integral to that.
It's not just a club. It was like a member of the family.
We knew it was the right place for us. It was unbelievable.
The double belongs to Kenny Dalglish and Liverpool.
But some things you wish they'd never happened.
Hillsborough really, really hit Kenny.
And the myth of crowd violence was created at that moment when a community felt that Westminster and the police and the media were against them.
I'm outraged.
One man stood up. Everything that Kenny does is for the family
Life is more important than any job.
and the family of Liverpool.
That was more than football. That was about a community.
Wow.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's harrowing. Cool.
I thought it would have been longer than that.
Oh, gosh. What was that like? What was it like to have to sit down and get all that done?
No, it was like sitting here. Asif had the mic, just have a conversation. It wasn't people following you with cameras or anything. It was just pretty straightforward.
Wow. I was expecting a little bit more than that, but like, I'll take that off you, King Kenny.
No, you need to buy it.
I'm going to buy it, don't worry, I'll be buying
Is that
it.
the first time you've done a documentary as well?
No, we did one before. It was called Kenny.
I see that one as well.
But the boys, Asif's got a good track record. He made Maradonas as well.
Yeah,
Senna.
yeah.
Senna and
watched
Amy Winehouse.
Oh, really?
He did her.
Yes.
That was a brilliant one as well. Is there going to be a premiere? Can we get an invite? Roy will put a suit on.
23rd and 25th.
So London and Liverpool, isn't it?
Aye, London. Then Liverpool on the Saturday.
Do you enjoy doing them? Is it like getting stuff off your chest, no? Or is it just to...
It's just, it was doing this, it was just like me sitting having a chat with him, and then he puts the voice onto the pictures. So it's easy to sit and talk to people, and it's harder when they're in front of you.
Oh, did he show you pictures to like...
No, he just spoke through it,
Wow.
everything.
Wow. He's pretty good, isn't he?
Ah, he's good. It's a shame,
I've
it's a shame he signed me up.
Yeah, the thing I love about things like that, and your one, obviously, Alex Ferguson's had certain, sort of documentaries in the past, and I always think there's something special about Glasgow, about like the football and sort of, where people come from, how much it means, and it just feels like there's so many great managers, it feels like, have come from up there as well. I mean, your upbringing as a kid, it's a big part of the story as well. Is there something unique, or certainly in that day and age, in terms of producing great footballers or managers of the past?
No, it's no. I don't think it's unique, but I think we were fortunate the way we were brought up. So when we moved from Glasgow to Liverpool, it was like moving into the next city. It was brilliant. The people in Liverpool are so alike the Glaswegians. And for me, for a working sense, or a footballing sense, Jock Stein, the success that he had, and the education he had, and the coaching and the time that he had to coach us, the young boys, it was fantastic for us. And then you come here and, Bob, he's probably the most successful manager in Britain. When you think 6 championships in 9 years, That's some achievement. So you just, if you want to play football as a living, you couldn't get a better opportunity than playing in both those places. Celtic, for me, will always have a special place because that's who brought us into football, took us forward, educated me, and really helped us.
Kenny, what we all look back at our childhoods and remember maybe moments. When you look back at your childhood, what do you remember that sort of made you the person that you are today?
Your parents. The parents make you what you are, don't they? I mean, even we had an under-15 team and the guy packed it in just a couple of weeks before the end of the season. But we were going to play in the cup final. We'd already won the league. And the last game of the season, there was, as it was in those days, they had a wee bit of a fight in the showers. So the boy that did it, the boy that was fighting, we went to play the final the next week, and my dad said, he's no playing. Because my dad, they said, well, you look after it, because the guys packed it in. So my dad said, well, he's no playing. And I went, oh. He says, oh, don't you want to play either? I went, oh, no, I'll play. So it was the right way for him to react to me, but I was only thinking, he's one of our better players. Yeah. But we won. So for me, the parents were a huge influence.
Was your dad strict with you when you were younger?
Oh, just a bit.
Was it?
Just a wee bit.
In what way?
But no, he was also encouraging.
Yeah.
He'd take you to the matches and watch the games, and you come back and with a wee bit of grass, about the size of this table, I think, in the back garden, and have a kick about afterwards. Yeah. So they cared, and like your mother did, she would like sew the socks for the football team, the kids team, and wash the strips, and he would turn up for the school games in the morning, and in the afternoon when they played for the amateur team, he'd be there as well. So the encouragement you got, but by the way, you knew the discipline as well came from within.
What were the
Kenny,
lessons?
what was this? Sorry, you know the young kid, you go to Celtic, you're a big Rangers fan, weren't you?
My dad took me to Ibrox.
Yeah. How was that in terms of, when Celtic come in for it? Your dad obviously must have been a big Rangers man himself. Was that ever a difficult decision?
Yeah, it was difficult for me. We played Celtic's apprentices. We played them at the training ground. We beat them 3-2. I was playing against them and I scored. Jock Stein was at the game. Sean Farland, the old assistant manager, he was at the game. And Big Jock said to the chap that ran the team, oh, we fancy the wee guy, the wee fat guy, number 4. Said, scored the goal. He said, but we understand he's going to Ibrox. And the guy said, well, he doesn't understand that. So he came up to the house the next week and that was it done. But and my dad was there. I mean, it was just a normal household. Your dad would go to work, come home, your mum had his dinner for him, right? And then he'd have a kip. And then the door went and he's sleeping. And I had a couple of pictures of Rangers players up on the wall. I had to take them down when he was coming in.
When did you realise that you were a special player? Because obviously you have managers wanting you, but was there a moment maybe when you were younger that you thought, I've got something special here?
No, I never thought myself as being special. I just thought myself fortunate that I was going to be given the opportunity to play at some level. And also at the same time, when I was 16 and signed a provisional form for Celtic, and they farmed you out to, like, I suppose it's the equivalent of the National League here, the juniors, the semi-professionals, to toughen you up a wee bit. Then when that was coming about, it was for you to go and have a look, right? But there's no decision made about your future. You train twice a week with Celtic at night. So I started work as an apprentice joiner. I'm glad Celtic signed me. I wasn't very good.
Were you getting coached then? Would people be coaching you, or would you just turn up at Celtic and it'd be just get on with it, or was
We trained.
Yeah, I know, yeah, but would it be like proper coaching, hands-on, or would it be just let you get on with it? And
Aye, they would take a great principle. The guy who used to take us when we went full-time was a guy called Willie Fernie, and he was a fantastic player for Celtic in the old days. And he used to come first team obviously were in their dressing room, we were in the visiting dressing room, and he'd open the door and he'd go, right, and then he'd shut the door, and he would run out down the tunnel. We're training, it's not like nowadays we've got training pitches everywhere. He'd run out the tunnel, and we had to get out the room and run after him and go round a lap, and then say, right, get the goals out. So put the post in, and that was us playing. And his enthusiasm, he loved football, he loved playing, he was a great dribbler, and that infected us. But also, big joke having the time to come out and say, here, come here, you're going to play there, or you're going to play here, and this is what you've got to do. And it was fantastic. I mean, they just won the European Cup. Yeah. And the manager spending time with us.
Yeah, but they weren't complicated, were they? Was it like...
No, it wasn't complicated. Aye. See, play in there. But gave you 1 or 2 guidelines, and you trained with the Lisbon Lions. Jesus Christ, you can't get any better than that. You need to be blind now to see their benefits. And they were so normal, it wasn't true.
So what about, you see your play with your left foot and right foot, because I don't know which one was you're naturally right-footed, right?
Sometimes.
But like, what about that in respect of where did that come from? You weren't just naturally, you was just naturally good at kicking with both feet, no problem.
I don't think anything's natural. It always comes from what you do when you're working and playing. We used to play in the street, or we used to play on a Sunday. That one of the guys would get, like his dad was a plumber, so he got the wee pipes and made a goal. Wow. And somebody must have stole a goal net for something, because they put a net over it as well. And they used to have it on a Sunday, and we'd go and play. And your mum or dad said, what do you want for your Christmas? We all agreed that we'd ask for an Inter Milan shirt. So we all get the same shirt, so we had a strip for Christmas that we used to play. And one of the boys, Ian Ross, he played for Liverpool, you might not know him, but he played for Liverpool. He came from there, and he was in the same area as I lived in, and we used to play football together. So you're always playing people older than yourself, and better than yourself probably. So if you don't learn, you're not going to go too far.
How long were you doing the joinery for?
A year, I think.
Not enjoy that, or?
Well, I had to do something.
Well, how did that work? Because obviously, it seems to be people who played in Scotland seem to also have another job at the same time. But how did you do that? How did you combine that with your football?
It was called provisional forms. Okay. Signed you at 16, and he played for the junior team, right? Okay. So, whilst you were going through that, you only needed to train twice. You could have gone in the ground staff. Okay. But that was, you painted the crush barriers and cleaned people's boots and everything. I went, I better go and try and be a joiner. So I got a job as an apprentice joiner, and I did it for a year. And then it was, I just thought it was a fallback. If you're not going to get signed up, you'd somewhere else to go.
Like Hewitt Management.
Moving on. This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by ARNE Clothing. You said you had loads of encouragement in your childhood, but what were the lessons, what were the things that you remember where it was tough for you, where you thought, getting left out, or maybe not getting,
Big Joke was brilliant at saying, you've got to concentrate on what you do, but you've got to have an appreciation. Like, so say, he put me to centre-back because I gave away a couple of balls in the middle of the pitch. And he said, that will help you to understand what the guy in front of you, right? What you're doing to him. If you play in midfield, you give it away, you're putting him in trouble. So go and play there and see how good it feels. I went, okay. And then he said, all right, move back up into midfield and hit another one square. He went, get back. So I never hit many square passes after that.
A lot of the guests we've had on this show have ended up back in defence, but started as a striker, but then they've not been good enough and they've ended up going back the pitch all the way through. But you obviously ended up in the absolute prime position. Did you always play in that position where you ended up top?
No. I was starting further up, but when we went to school and with the school team, they put somebody at the back. I was at the back, but you weren't a defender. Somebody else got hauled back to defend. And like Celtic, Big Joke would move you around the reserve team to give you an understanding, as I said, about what's happening with the people in the position that you normally play. So you play in it, and it's an education for you as well, if you pick it up. And for me, that's the best thing you could get, a great education.
Would you say Jock was the biggest influence on you?
No, I'd say my dad was.
Your dad was?
Aye. He took us, took the time and effort, take you out, and we weren't a rich family. You get a pair of boots. There used to be Adidas and Puma. We couldn't afford them. So the cooperative used to have boots, and it was called the St Crispin Wing. Like, Puma goes that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, St Crispin Wing.
And that's from the Co-op, was it?
That's for the Co-op. And then there was another one, Timpson's.
Yeah, Timpson's.
Adidas with the 3 stripes.
Yeah.
Timpson's had 4. And it was Bobby Charlton's signature on it. And we got a pair of them.
What was the first major boots that you got?
Puma.
Puma. What was it, Puma King or?
I don't know. We went
Dalglish
to...
Silver, was it?
Yeah.
Remember them?
All right. we went down to West Ham when we were 15, and we trained during the week. And they came up and they said, look, we want to send the scout up to your mum's house, and we want to sign you. I says, all right. He says, but he said, there's a pair of boots in there. Go and have a word with the kit man. He'll give you a pair of boots. And that was the first time I had a pair of Puma boots.
Wow.
Every night I was like that.
Oh,
How old were you then?
Cleaning the
How old were you there?
15, 16.
Wow.
Was it true, Kenny? I think I've seen on maybe a documentary or something before that you actually did go to Liverpool. You were 15 or 16, yeah, on a trial, yeah.
They put us up in the YMCA. He said it would be fun.
Yeah.
And was
Fun
it?
to stay there. No, they put us up. Myself and 2 or 3 other boys came down, and you used to get adverts in the Echo, like Liverpool trials, right, such and such a night.
Wow.
I never answered them, but they asked us down and went down to play, and then they said that Shanks gave us a lift back to the hotel that night and said they want to sign you. I thought it's a wee bit far, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the guy came up to the house, but I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there's, for me, Liverpool, West Ham were very similar. Very, very similar. The way that West Ham was always, not what it is now, but it was the old ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they've got the pub next door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. Every Friday they just went to the cafe around the corner for the...
Pie and mash.
Aye, or whatever it is they ate. It was, so, that was twice, and I thought, I better start off in an apprentice something. I might not make it as football. But then Celtic came in and that was me.
So you turned down Liverpool then at that time, did you?
Well, no, because of anything other than the distance,
Yeah.
between there and Glasgow.
Or just leaving home and leaving your parents?
Just coming down.
And you were only young as well, so it would have been a big
About 15.
distance, maybe, yeah.
Who was your hero as a young kid around that time? Sort of?
Dennis Law, I think.
Was it
Would be
Dennis?
everybody's eye.
Yeah.
You never get much television.
Yeah.
He was in Italy playing as well. And then he scored against England at Hampden. So obviously he's got to be a favourite.
Yeah. And then what happens when you go to Celtic and you start playing in the first team? When's that big moment come, that break?
Well, my debut was actually the second leg of a game. They played a team called Hamilton Accies, and they beat them 10-0 in the first leg. So they've got a second leg to play. And I was sub. I was only 17 or 18. I was sub. And they were 4-0 up at half-time, and Big Joke says, we're putting you on. I went, you're taking a chance, aren't you? 14-0 up. And that was it. But just training with the Lisbon Lions,
Yeah.
it was brilliant for all of us.
Were you confident back then in terms of a young player? Were you confident? No.
If somebody spoke to me, I went bright red.
Would you?
Oh, aye. You just don't know why.
Or just shy? Or just...
Aye, maybe shy.
Yeah.
And was expectation then, Kenny, Celtic to win every week? Yeah, was the demands were
We were only in the reserves.
right. But when
When
you
we
got back involved, when you kind of started getting to the
Oh,
first team, the expectation was there like it is now, obviously. Yeah.
It's always been the same.
Right, yeah.
It's not been any different. Always been the same.
And you were
It
fine
always
with that,
will
even
be.
as a young player. You just thought it's part of the gig, obviously.
We had a good start. Yeah. We had a good start, but they were... I mean, the first game we got was the Old Firm game, really, for the big game for myself. I was 19 or 20. And we're winning 1-0, we get a penalty kick. And Billy McNeil was the captain, came up and went, he grabbed me and went, you take it. I went, I can't repeat it, right? He went, go on, you take it. He says, you took them for the reserves. I said, Billy, there's more photographers here than what were at the reserve game. He said, no, but you take it. Oh, I went, Jesus. So I was a bit nervous. But I walked up and obviously, as you said, my dad took me to watch Rangers a wee bit. So the goalkeeper always went the same way. For any penalty I saw, if they ever get a penalty against them, and I'm saying, oh, please, please just go this way. So I get up, I put the ball down the stop, and I tied my lace. It wasn't even loose. Just tied it right, and like that. And the ball ran behind the pitch. And I ran up, and I slotted it to his left, and he did what he normally did, or what I'd seen him. So that was me. If I'd have missed that, I wouldn't have been here.
Kenny, it's funny you say that because you think about all the things you've done in your career, but I never picture you as a penalty taker. You know, for sort of maybe Liverpool. Did you take a lot of penalties in your career, or was something you sort of shied away from?
For the reserves.
No, but in terms of when you got to the first team with Celtic or later on with Liverpool, I can't picture you taking too many.
No, never.
No?
No. But I was doing to take one in the last game I played for Celtic. Well, a meaningful game. The other one was a pre-season. But we played Rangers in the final, and we got a dubious penalty. It was dubious. His arm was there, but it hit him in the thigh. But we still took it. So I've picked the ball up, because I'm the captain, I'm to take the penalty. And the left back came running up, Andy Lynch, and went, Kenny, he says, I'll take it. I said, here you go. He slotted it, we won 1-0.
Oh.
But he shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because as soon as somebody would come up and do that, you go, oh, wait a minute. Yeah.
And you gave him the ball without argument?
Aye. Well, I thought if it'd be playing in my mind.
Yeah.
It'd play in your mind if somebody come up and said, and you're saying, well, what am I doing here?
But was it not?
That's gonna
You're the
go.
captain. You are
was
who
the
you
captain.
are. And he must be ballsy from him to come up to you and take it off you.
No, it's quite right if he feels confident.
Yeah.
If that's what he feels like. He slotted it. So don't be too harsh on him.
This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by ARNE Clothing. No one's won the Super 6 £1 million jackpot yet, which means you could still be the one to win it. It's completely free to play. Just predict 6 correct scores this weekend and you could become a millionaire. Download the Super 6 app and play for free. 18 plus, T&Cs apply.
I've seen little bits of the documentary and that, and it's fantastic. But you sort of, your connection with Celtic and Liverpool, and leaving of Celtic, was that just watching it? Is it something to do a little bit about the European Cup as well? I think in it you're talking about, I think you come close in the semi-final, and you feel you're not quite going to get over the line with Celtic in terms of winning that. Was that a difficult decision to make? And also, you know, with Jock Stein still being the manager, was it difficult for him to let you go?
2 years before I left, I'd said to it that I was wanting to go. Then he almost got killed in a car crash. And I said to Marina, Marina, we can't do this. That's no right. For what he's done for me, I can't go up and leave Celtic when he's in big trouble. And the assistant manager took over, so the first season, he was out for nearly a whole season. And then when he came back in, I said to him, look, I still feel the same, I still want to go. So that was it. By the way, it was a horrendous decision for me to make, really. We're married, we've got, like, Kelly would be a year and a half, Paul would be 6 months. If it had just been Paul, we'd have left him there a bit.
Oh, Paolo.
It was a big, big decision to come down with the family, the whole lot. That's why settling in, well, we did at the Holiday Inn, which is now Lewis's, I think. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. The people were so helpful, happy, take the kids. One of them ended up being the babysitter. And the guy that ran it, Jack Ferguson, was a pal of Marina's dad. So it was like Home Alone. It was like Glasgow with a different accent.
Did anybody else come in for you at that time?
I don't know.
You just
I wouldn't have gone anywhere else anyway.
No.
Well, if it was the only one, maybe I would have. But my first choice would have been Liverpool.
Yeah.
And to know I've gone there when I was 15, I was a lucky, lucky man to get asked again.
The fee, I'm just reading the fee here, it's a transfer record, 440,000.
Aye, but 10% of that's VAT.
That's probably going to translate today to well over 100 million. That's like a huge amount of money at that time, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't be looking back anyway, but I was still, I wanted to go.
Did you feel any pressure when you went? Nothing at all?
No.
Because it was like, obviously, Kevin Keegan just left and you was coming in. You never felt no pressure because obviously what Kevin Keegan was at the time.
You can only be yourself, can't you? It's not as if you've got an equity card, is it? You can't be an actor. Just be yourself. You've got a better chance of succeeding.
So it seemed like it worked out really well then, because obviously Kevin Keegan wanted to leave to go, and then they got you. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, they were just unlucky. But
do you think it was going to be a lot harder, obviously, at Liverpool to start the league would be more demanding, no? Or
no, I just wanted to go and try it, and if I wasn't any good, then you might get back to Scotland. You don't know. Right. But no, I wasn't under pressure. And when we went in training, the first days we're training, the boys are all really up for having a great season, and they just won. I think they won the league as well, didn't they? And the European Cup.
Yeah.
And I'm going, oh, this will do me. This will do me. They're as hungry as what they were, I mean, before they won it. So it was great for me.
You mentioned the simplicity before of Celtic and the training and Jock's team. Was it similar? Was there anything different when you went to sort of Liverpool, that boot room philosophy?
Well, in the years we were at Liverpool, they kept saying Liverpool's secret. I don't know what it was. And if they did have one, they wouldn't tell anybody, would they? But they said that all they do is play five-a-side. No, it was structured. It was structured. And you know yourself, the books that they used to have with the day-to-day report and training, who trained, the weather, the whole lot. I mean, they were so far ahead of their time, it wasn't true. The only difference was it was written down. It wasn't technology.
So where's that come from? Where people
it's
kept
not
talking
exaggerated, the boot room,
Yeah,
the
people
famous
used to say,
boot room.
we never used to train at all. We used to just go and just play five-a-side. Was that part of the whole ruse to like tell people, no, you're not structured? Because Barnes, I remember speaking to John Barnes. John Barnes said, no, we just trained. It was just five-a-side all the time.
Yeah, but it was conditioned five-a-side, and I mean it was that, and it got less important the closer it got to the game, but it was still effective. And say like Russia had gone like 10 minutes without scoring in a match, they put the big goals in. No, just so he got...
Just get some...
Aye. And then they do the opposite for the goalkeeper. If he'd been having a bad time, they make the goal smaller. No, it's all psychology, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's brilliant. They were brilliant.
Them training games you're talking about, because I class myself as very lucky, really, in that my last year or so, my first year as a player at the club, was what you might class as the boot room. Ronnie Moran's still the coach, Roy Evans is still the manager. And I think what Kenny's talking about there, you think of people talking now about, pressing high or back fours pushing up. And when you're talking about conditions in the game, when I started training with the first team, it was like, first man has to close. Now, you could be 20 yards away. Yeah. And someone's got the ball, and normally in a game you wouldn't close, but it was like, no, we're trying to get into your head about pressing from the front, obviously yourself and Rushy. Yeah. And there was things in the five-a-side where if everybody wasn't in one half, the goal didn't count.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
talk about pushing up as a back four.
Being compact.
So that's what I think, Kenny, you're talking about the conditions. It's like, it's not just five-a-side and people are messing about. It's like, no, there's conditions in it that you then take into the game. So pressing from the front, pushing up from the back, that, you know, Hansen and Lawrence.
Don't tell them too much.
Too many secrets.
I think George Graham, all George Graham used to talk about to me is that closing down, Liverpool's closing down, Ian Rush closed down a whole back four, and, you know, how the pressing was, you didn't realise, it's from back then, the pressing.
Yeah.
The Liverpool telling everybody, no, we don't train, we just train five-a-side, but it's all structured.
Did I read somewhere that you used to do it on the morning, like say you were playing on a Tuesday, would you do training on the morning?
Yeah, we five-a-side.
On the day of the game?
Yeah, but nothing intense, just
Yeah.
to get the cobwebs washed away. And then you go back to the ground, go on the bus, go down for your lunch and the Holiday Inn, and then have a kip in the afternoon and play at night.
Wow.
It's amazing.
We were talking before about robustness and players being rested. How many times were you rested?
I might have been arrested, but oh.
No rest. Just if you played.
I don't remember any of our players getting left out because of the number of games. But you got to bear in mind also, they never had the squad, the depth of squads that they have nowadays.
Was it one sub then when in that?
Well, there wouldn't be any subs to start with.
Yeah, and then go into one.
So, but you don't have the same depth of player. I think now, if they've got that much, they seem to frown on being asked to play like for the 21s or something, or the reserves as we know them. Why?
Yeah.
You're doing them a favour.
Yeah.
You're doing them a favour. Have a game, and then if you do get thrown in, you'll be all right. You'll be up to speed.
Yeah.
And they don't. They seem to think it's an insult that they're asked to play.
But you're winning European Cups, you're winning all the trophies, you're winning the leagues, and you're playing obviously Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. It's almost as if injuries didn't exist as much back then. I don't know why that is, but yeah, I don't feel like, you know, you would have. How many games would you have missed with injury over the term of your career?
Oh, I don't know. Not many. I never.
No.
I got one injury that kept me out. Smashed that, but.
Your eye.
Guess who that was against?
Cheekbone.
Who was it?
United.
Who did your eye?
Kevin Moran.
Kevin.
What was it? Was it?
No.
Accidentally, yeah.
Kevin was cut to shreds. With the head in the games.
Yeah.
So it was just after half time he came up and I don't know why I headed it. Anyway, I went to flick it on and he had his arm up like that to protect himself.
Yeah.
It wasn't that, it was like that to protect himself. Fucking that's sore.
So.
You're on about the message, but there's a sign up at Celtic and a Jock Steen said if the players work hard Monday to Friday and you can have Saturdays off to play football. That's it. That was
that
like
what
the
it
message.
saying?
Yeah, it's a great saying.
Nice.
Like a
Yeah,
great
I
message,
like
innit?
that. I like that.
You get Saturday off.
I never saw that.
That
must have been
We'll just edit your comment out and just...
I like that one. That's good.
But
But that's the message, isn't it? Yeah, you
Aye.
work hard
Good
and then,
message.
yeah.
it's up to yourself, isn't it?
It's a great team as well, like the boys, like Alan Hansen and all the guys that was there. Like Rushy was just like, I've never seen anyone finish like that.
You've played in successful teams yourselves, right? Do you know the thing? It's really part and parcel of success is the relationship in the dressing room, isn't it?
Yep.
That, for me, that's
Yeah.
you go a long way to help somebody, right? If you're all getting on and everybody's level and do the same, if somebody makes a mistake, come on. Whereas now they're happy for somebody to make a mistake because you're not getting the blame. I think it's.
But would you just sit around like back in the old days, like we did, and you sit around and have a cup of tea before training, a few biscuits? When you think of the game has changed now with mobile phones and dress rooms, I think that has gone now. People engaging with each other, chatting.
Has it?
Yeah, it definitely has.
Yeah.
I mean, I know mobile phones have made it difficult for players. They want to go out and enjoy themselves and have a drink. They'd be plastered all over somewhere. Whereas when we were playing, they could have a drink. But they still produce results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got to have some relaxation, I think.
Who would be the real leader in that dressing room that you were in that great side? and you may have had many leaders, but who was the one
Celtic or Liverpool?
Yeah, you obviously would.
I was only a boy. I never
Yeah, but who was the great leader when you
didn't even
walked in?
have a car.
Yeah, but when you walked in, who was the great leader? Who was the one that everyone was like looking up to?
Souness?
Liverpool or Everton?
Yeah, Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Or Everton. Liverpool. No, there was... Well, when I went in at first, it was Smitty was in there.
Yeah.
Right? But they still had a great relationship. I mean, some people never got on, which if they didn't get on, they'd have a word with each other.
Yeah.
But there was nothing disastrous.
Was Emlyn Hughes still there with you?
Emily Hughes was there. Smitty. Emlyn. Clem. Craig Clemens. So, telling like Tomo, boys that were born and brought up there. So they knew what the core of the place was. And the friendship, camaraderie was brilliant.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, but for me, I thought it was good. Now, there's a lot of foreign boys coming in, but that doesn't mean to say that you can't have a good relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's the best player that you ever played with at Liverpool? The player that you looked at and thought he was the most important?
Oh, the best one for me was Rushy.
Yeah.
It saved me a lot of running.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh, no, Rushy was good. For my position, if I was playing somewhere else, I might have picked out Souness or somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't think it... Somebody says, well, who's the best player? What day is it? What game are you talking about? Everybody plays a part. And if you start thinking there's somebody better than yourself or whatever, there's going to be trouble. And that's why we never had that in the dressing rooms. We were all together.
Yeah.
And when somebody scored, they celebrated it.
That's the thing, Kenny. When I was probably too young to really sort of fully appreciate you as a player. But the game that's just come to my mind, the first time I ever seen you play live, you scored after 20 seconds.
Goodison.
At Goodison, yeah. I remember. 3-2, Liverpool won that game, yeah.
You cursed
And I
him,
missed.
didn't you?
No, yeah, well, I was at the time, yeah. But I think
He
Liverpool,
headed it out.
yeah. I think Liverpool went
Was it the
3-0 up.
Gladys Street end?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Liverpool 3-0 up at half-time, and then Everton came back, Lineker was playing and stuff like that. But what I wanted to mention is, when we've been talking about the Ballon d'Or and different things, and people talk about individual awards, I think if I'm picturing you on the clips that I've seen and videos and the odd game here and there, is your face and smile when somebody else scores. You know, and you might think that's normal, but I don't think that probably is the norm for some of the best players in the world, who sometimes I think it's a little bit maybe about themselves. They want to be the guy who scores. You know, you just mentioned Rushy there. You know, you go from being the guy who comes in originally, you know, he plays Kevin Keane, you're getting 25, 30 goals a season. Then you're more the creator, Rushy's the goal scorer. But your face, when somebody else scores, I think that probably speaks to me of why that Liverpool team was arguably the most successful English team, probably the only team that's probably dominated Europe for a long period of time. But the best players in the team are team players, not individual players.
I think it depends what game you talk about. If you ask who's the best player, everybody's got their part to play and their role to play. You can't do yours without the help of somebody else. I couldn't do mine. If they're hitting balls out to me up at this side, what am I going to do with it? I'm not going to win too many headers, especially after Kevin Moran's done that. So you play to the people's strength. You help each other and you play for and with each other.
Yeah.
And that, people will have different favourites and different teams or whatever. It doesn't matter, as long as you don't have that in the pitch, you've got a far better chance of being successful. And especially when they can all play.
You had good battles with Forest. Forest were good, obviously, back with Bright stuff. Yeah, you had good battles with them as well, wasn't it? Yeah, fantastic.
Well, we lost a couple of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
John Robertson did some brilliant players as well, didn't they?
no, they were brilliant. Because why? Because they all played for each other.
Yeah.
Taylor at worked with Cloughie.
That's right, yeah.
Was brilliant. And they were all one for all for one. And they only lasted about 3 or 4 years, didn't they?
Yeah.
But they were good at the game.
Time, yeah.
Good at what they had.
Brilliant.
You say you were shy when you were younger, but you look so confident on the pitch. Like, I was watching clips, so many goals from like 30 yards out. Did you
No, there
feel...
aren't many.
There was a lot. There was
Maybe
a lot.
one.
But did you feel a different confidence when you stepped on the pitch compared to maybe off it?
No, I wasn't bored. I was going on somewhere where I felt comfortable. Right? I just felt comfortable. So, and most of the time, I bet you played more bad games than good games, but as long as you were successful at some stage, it was okay. For me, I just wanted to play and be part of a successful thing. I mean, coming from Celtic to Liverpool, one of the most important things that drove me to ask to move was success in Europe. And we got to a semi-final. We got beat by Atletico Madrid, and we got to another one. We got beat, can't remember who beat us in the Cup, Winners' Cup. And that's as close as we got. And for me, I always wanted to win a trophy, go on a tour of the city in the bus. You couldn't do that in Glasgow.
Yeah.
You weren't allowed for obvious reasons. But as I say, for me, I was just happy with the innings I had, but I just wanted to improve it a wee bit. I wouldn't have been where I was if it hadn't been for Celtic Football Club.
Kenny, what was that first conversation like when this talked to you about being the manager, the player manager?
Well, I was in the house on a Sunday, and you never had mobiles. The phone goes. It's Peter Robinson. And I went, aye, Peter. And I'm thinking, what's he phoning me for? I've just signed for 4 years. I mean, they offered me a 4-year contract. And I said, Peter, have you looked at my birth certificate? I said, I'm 33. That's what he went, no, it doesn't matter. I said, no, Peter, just give me the thing. I'll sign it now, right? He said, no. He said, we'll get it drawn up properly. I said, but Peter, I'm 33. And he went, just a reward for what you've done for the club and everything. So I went, all right. So a few months later, a lot of months later, I get the phone call. It's Peter, and I went, I'm going to chop this contract. I'm going to get thrown out here. He said, the chairman and I have had a word. He says, we'd like to offer you the manager's job. I went, what? He said, we'd like to offer you the manager's job. I said, Peter, I've just signed for 4 years as a player. Yeah, he said, player manager. I went, why? What have I done? Why? He said, no, we want to offer you. I went, okay. He said, well, we'll have a think, we'll have a word later on. So I went, Jesus Christ. So I said to Marina, I said, they've just offered me the managerial. She went, no, they've not. But they have. So I phoned my dad, phoned Marina's dad. I said, where do I go for here? So they both said the same thing. If they think you're good enough, have a go. So I went back, I says, well, look, I'll have a go. I said, but if I'm garbage, I want my playing contract to still kick in, still be there.
Yeah.
I said, you can have whatever you want. I went, all right. So she's me. I'm coming out the dressing room. I've come out of the dressing room the next year, and they're the boys that I love the banter in the dressing room, the humour and everything else. And I'm having to make decisions that's hurting them, because you know they all want to play.
Yeah.
And I'm going, this is murder. But you have to make it.
Were you still getting changed in the...
No, I get thrown out of there. I was thrown out of there.
So you're in the manager's office straight away?
Aye.
Yeah. How hard was that for you in terms of... You've talked about picking them and leaving them out, but about actually yourself as well, and when to pick yourself, and how difficult was that?
It wasn't difficult, really, because even if you're standing there watching the game, you get yourself drained a wee bit. And if you make yourself sub, more often than not, you're not going to be 100% when you go on. So I'm saying to Ronnie and Roy, I can't really, I don't feel as if I'd be doing the right thing being sub.
Yeah.
But there was great people round about us. Pardon me, Bob Paisley, he got an office upstairs, right? So old Bob, if anybody came in or phoned us up and you're having a conversation with him about players or whatever, I'd always say, I'll come back to you, hold on. I said, I just got to But I'll come back to you, put the phone straight upstairs. What do you think?
Was he an advisor at the club at that time, or was?
It was by the way he was there. He used to come and say, Kenny, do you mind if I go and have a word with Rushy, or do you mind? I said, Bob, jeez, I said, you can have a word with whoever you want.
Yeah.
He was so humble, right, and respectful to whoever was going to. No, me as a person, really. I think that position of manager, he was so respectful and helpful. It wasn't true. Ronnie, Moran, Roy Evans, brilliant.
Yeah.
And sometimes when somebody gets appointed, there's a bit of in-house fighting, isn't there? There's a bit, brand new.
Yeah.
And all by Tom Saunders. He was first youth development officer in England. And I said, Tom, will you come into the office? He said, what do you mean? I said, we'll put your desk in there. My desk over there. I said, so he's sitting there, and he was really clever. He used to do the Times crossword, so that's how and I'd go and watch games with him, and he's teaching me how to watch games, and it was brilliant. The collective involvement for everybody and the support they gave you was unbelievable.
Kenny,
So
you mentioned then about finding it difficult to be a sub in terms of, on the side of the pitch watching the game. I think late in the season, I think Paul Walsh gets injured, doesn't he? And then it gives you get yourself, you pick yourself as such. And I think that makes a big difference in terms of Liverpool winning the double and Everton missing out.
Walshy did brilliant for us. I think he scored about 19 or something up to the turn of the year. And he got the injury against Everton.
But when you're the manager and you've played first half, how does that work at half time? Would that be left then to Ronnie and Roy to do the sort of team talk? How would that work?
Well, you just go to the mirror and have a word with yourself. It's difficult.
Could players have a go at you? If you were like giving the ball away, would lads go liven up?
I don't know, it never happened.
I'm saying nothing, Kenny. I'm saying nothing.
I don't know. I don't know if they wanted to have a go or no, but it was not really a place to have a go. If they want to have a go, come in on Monday morning into your office.
So
right? But no, obviously it's worse, and you feel it worse, and you would. Well, you've had an experience it as well. You feel it, if you're a manager and you're asking somebody to do something and you can't do it yourself. What happens? Fortunately, I wasn't a defender. But so no, there was no. It was the hardest part of me was going to somebody and saying, "I'm sorry, we're leaving you."
What was the hardest decision you made in that first 12 months where you were leaving someone out? What was one that
It
you
was
remember?
afterwards when Aldo came back and we with a great team, and then Rushy was coming back, and I went, "Fucking Jesus, Aldo's been brilliant for us." But I felt if Rushy's coming back, he's better with us than against us. So you had the decision like that, and in Aldo's last game, it was. I think it was
Palace.
Crystal Palace.
I remember it.
Yeah.
9-0.
And we got a penalty. And Aldo's on the bench. And I went, get your gear on. Get your boots on. You go and take the penalty. Right? I don't know what we were winning. We were winning easy. And he's fighting to get his boots and tie them up. And I'm going, wait. Right? And he ran on at the cop. He slotted it.
Yeah.
And the whole place went up.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean, I felt bad about doing that because I know how much the club meant to him as it did to a lot of people, but maybe a wee bit more special for him because he was a local boy. And to give him the opportunity to say bye-bye like that, I thought it was only right. And people say, oh, well, it shouldn't matter who takes the penalties if you want. But we're about 5 or 6 up. We're not going to lose, are we?
I remember it well.
Flopped it in.
Did it mean more winning the trophies as player-manager or when you were playing? Was it a different feeling?
No, not really. The feeling was that a wee bit insular, innit? Because you don't get to join in with the players. You
Couldn't
get
have a
that,
drink.
aye. Oh no, I can never drink, but you get that, did you? They want to go and enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
What was it like? Because I know that you're a banter king, and so you had to go from all of a sudden you're in there with the guys bantering and everything, and then you're outside of that. How'd you deal with that?
You just got to deal with it.
Yeah.
You just got to. I mean, Big Hansen said it was the worst team 85, 86, the worst Liverpool team ever. And we won 11 out of the last 12 games and won the league. So I don't know how you get a job as a pundit.
We do. This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by ARNE Clothing.
I know you don't like speaking about individual players and things like that, but when I think of the team that you built after that, with especially Barnes,
Yes.
I trained with him for 12 months or so. I mean, still probably the greatest player I've ever trained with on a daily basis. That even though the Liverpool teams that you played in, you know, conquer Europe and win everything, Barnes just seemed to add something probably a little bit different. I mean, what was that like when you brought him in? Because it was a controversial move at the time. You know, we'd been in England for a few years. Lots of teams had looked at him, weren't quite sure.
How much was it? Was it
900
900, wasn't it? Yeah.
There was a story appeared in the paper, something about he said he wanted to go to Arsenal, and he phoned Peter Robinson up to say he never said that. So Peter's on the phone to me. I said, oh, it's good. I said, tell him to come up on Friday. We'll meet him. So he comes up on the Friday and he signed on the Saturday morning.
Wow.
If you want to apologise, here. So no, he was brilliant.
For a few years, man. Wow.
What a job he gave you as well. You know, like chasing back. I mean, you talk about a winger and you think, well, they're not going to do much defensively, but fucking, he did everything.
He played. I think he played a year. Maybe the last season he won the title. I think it was 1990. I think he played a lot up front. There, he could play anywhere, Barnes, because he was unbelievable, wasn't he?
In the midfield, anywhere.
Do you know, watching him and watching Liverpool at that time from a United perspective, it was demoralising. You know, seeing John Barnes play for Liverpool around that time and sort of, it was demoralising. You just thought that we're nowhere near them. Absolutely nowhere near them.
I always describe him all, you know, if people associate, you know, think of the Premier League. It's like Thierry Henry in the Premier League. That's what John Barnes was, wasn't he, for sort of 3 or 4 years, felt like, wasn't it?
But that's where Aldo was really important. Because John Barnes and me, Peter, and Ray Houghton, right, they could all perform away for the goal, but we needed somebody up there. And Aldo, that was his domain. And he was...
Yeah, he's brilliant as well.
That season he had for us was unbelievable.
Kenny, can I ask you, you mentioned at the very start, you were talking about Jock Stein. I think sort of seeing you playing an under-15 game and brings you in, and you sort of think then of the manager of Celtic's watching the young boys play, and you talk a lot about Alex Ferguson and doing the same. But Kenny, when you were the manager, I was in the School of Excellence, and he's the manager of Liverpool. Liverpool are the best team in the country. And used to come and watch us train. You know, obviously Paul was playing with us and that. So that thing of sort of being across everything, you know, you were doing that when you were the Liverpool manager. You know, we were like, the bosses, Kenny's here, you know, the little five-a-sides in Litherland, wasn't it? In the five-a-side.
The school?
That always just sort of sticks with me. And was that sort of like a big thing for you management-wise in terms of keeping abreast of everything that was going on at the club with the young kids?
When I was in the management thing, I used to love going down to watch the kids in the academy. The first time I was there, and obviously the second time I did it as well. To go down, it's relaxation for you. And you sit and you're watching the kids and their smiles on their faces and they're bombing about. And I just really enjoyed seeing them enjoying themselves. I wasn't there to make notes on what the coach was doing with them or anything like that. I was just doing to see the boys enjoying themselves and make sure that they were happy enough in what they were doing. And that, for me, it was as much for my benefit as it was for anybody else. If they got benefit, then fine. But
and what was the nickname you give me?
What?
Can you
Sharpie.
repeat it?
Sharpie.
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 He thought he was a centre forward.
I used to call me Everton kid.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Oh, you used to go to Liverpool, innit?
Yeah, she used to call me Sharpie, yeah, because I was Graham Sharp, the centre forward then.
Didn't someone say, listen, you got to stop wearing that? Or something?
No, I mean, it was the only kit we had. He didn't have kits, wasn't it?
No, you didn't say that.
No. Isn't it? Why? If that's who they support. I mean, I never wore a
Walking
Rangers. I
into
never
Liverpool with an Everton
But I
shirt.
never
You
wore
should
a
have. You should
Rangers
have tried
shirt
it. You should have
at
tried that
Celtic.
once,
Oh,
yeah.
no, I don't think so.
Was Jamie a good forward?
At that time.
Centre forward.
Yeah.
Well, as Gary said earlier, they start off up front and then...
Kenny, what you achieved on the pitch, I mean, watching that trailer there, it was spine-tingling, listening, obviously, to people talking about Hillsborough, and they said that, obviously, the impact it had on your life. Can you just talk to us about that? Obviously, what you did at the time, I don't think, was maybe fully recognised until you get 10, 15 years later, and the impact of what you did off the pitch will always be probably, like, measured above what you achieved on the pitch, which was absolutely everything.
Well, the most important thing was that we were there for the people who were treated as poorly as they were. And for us, that's all we can do. Peter Robinson phoned us up at home on the Sunday and he said, I've decided to open the gates at Anfield. The people are coming up and there's nowhere for them to go. They don't know what to do. So he opened the gates and let them come in and wander around the pitch. And I said, well, we've got to get together and make sure we can we'll get the boys involved and we'll go and do as best we can. And when you think, for everything they did for us, this was our chance. This was our turn to be the supporter. They supported us when we were in trouble. If we needed a G-up if we're playing badly, they were the ones that gave us it. So we were the ones that had to go and give them some support. They deserved it. It should never ever have happened. And there's a lot of people told a lot of lies about it as well. So as long as we did what we thought was right,
Well,
we were
Liverpool
doing the
did,
right thing.
Yeah, Liverpool
But
did.
you'd never ever want anybody to go through that. And we weren't the worst. The families were the ones that were worse, the ones that lost somebody. So, no, it was sad. But the most important thing is a really, really happy ending. We won the trophy. All right, Arsenal beat us in the league. Deservedly so. They scored more goals than us or something. But by the way, if we'd have picked the trophy that year that we wanted to win, it would have been a cup. Because that's how much it meant to them.
And what about the impact it's had on you around that time?
Well, you get a bit at the beginning, but you still get a wee bit emotional when the stories come up and you see the faces and the families. But by the way, we weren't as bad. And when you see the clip in the tunnel, Paul was at the game as well, but he was sitting right across from us. And we had to make sure, I'm trying to make sure that he's no involved in any of this. So that was a relief for us as well. We were one of the lucky ones.
And you get to the end of your sort of... I actually remember the day that you left Liverpool as a manager, and I was actually at school and thinking of the impact that would have on the club, this success that had occurred for the sort of long period of time, and the impact that you'd had on the club. What was that like for you leaving at that time?
No, I think I said in the press conference, it's the first time I made a decision that was more important to Kenny Dalglish than it was Liverpool Football Club. So for me, I wasn't doing the right thing by staying. I couldn't provide what the club needed as a manager.
Why was that? Because you had provided what they needed as a manager. You were quite clearly a great manager.
No, but then you get the comeback as well. So for me, I said, look, it was right after the 4-4 game at Goodison, and I was sitting there and I said to Ronnie and Roy, I said, I think we were always in front, and I think we got 2 in front or something. I said, right, we'll get some, we'll just put 5 at the back, we've got 2 goals. And they went, I don't know. And I went, okay. And then I went, you've made the right decision. That afternoon when we went for a kip before the game, I said, this is you finished. And
to yourself?
And when that happened, when I couldn't make the decision, I know I asked them for advice, but when I can't make a decision, I'm not serving the club properly.
But why was that, Kenny? What? Because I mean,
it was just everything, the culmination, everything it kicks off. But as I say, the club was more important than me. Most of the time. But this time, I was a wee bit selfish and put myself first.
And
And
just
when, by the way, within about 3-4 weeks, we went to Disney with the kids to try and get away from it.
Yeah.
Jesus, I think everybody in Disney had been at the game. They'd been talking about things, and I said, no. I said, but after about 3 weeks, I was wanting back.
Wow.
I would have gone back, but
you'd gone back into the club.
aye, I would have. So
Did you ever pass that message on maybe to Peter Robinson at the time, or was it difficult?
I
Because
think somebody did, but it wasn't me. But I would. But by the way, they did the right thing. They can't sit and wait. They can't sit and wait for somebody. If you're no fit, you're no fit. That's it. And that's, by the way, they never did me a favour, but I was grateful that they did it, and I was grateful that I made the decision on behalf of the families and also the club.
Because it's what I mean. There are moments I think that you remember in your life where almost like time stands still. Your importance to Liverpool was almost like beyond. You weren't just a manager. You were almost like a statesman-like figure there, a leader that could never be replaced. And it actually turned out to be that way. And if you think, did you think when you left that the club would have that sort of period of so long till the next league title? Did you ever? Did you? I mean, obviously you wouldn't have thought that, but if you think about what happened after you left.
No, I never put any consideration into the football, how it would affect the football club. Only by way of me not being able, who's supposedly the figurehead for the football, right, at that time, only me can make a decision.
Yeah.
So you're not doing a job. And that was it. But for the foot, I don't think anybody could have predicted that Liverpool were going to go, what was it, 25 or 27 years without winning a title.
Yeah.
That would have been, you'd have been locked up if you'd have come out with that. So I wasn't thinking how long it would be before they won it, because it never came into my mind.
When you look at, because I think Liverpool have had a similar period as United had when, obviously before Sir Alex Ferguson joined. What do you put the success down to over a long period, that 20 years? And then what do you put the 30 years without success down to? What are the big differences in these massive shifts for these clubs? You know, Liverpool obviously had huge success. I mean, dominated for long periods. What happened in that period that all of a sudden then changes all of a sudden when you leave? What leaves the club with you?
I think the most important part of the football club, any football club, are the players. So, I mean, Shanks came in and revamped it. Everything that Liverpool Football Club has at the moment, right? Most of it is down to domination for Shankly. He was unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. And it just carried on after he left. Bob carried on the ethos and the preparation. Then Joe Fagan came in for a couple of years, and then I came in, and after that, it did stutter a wee bit for success. But I think the people that come in, you would have taken them and you look at them and say, well, look at their credentials. Obviously, they're good decisions to bring in as managers. But how somebody who's picking the players? It's the players you bring in that are helpful. If you don't go to the market and spend wisely, or you don't have a huge development like Fergie had coming through at United, then it's going to be difficult for you to be successful.
I'd love to talk about the 30 years where Liverpool didn't win a title, but we're not going to. We're going to go straight to Jurgen Klopp and Arne Slot. And what ties these two back to what you were doing back in the day when Liverpool were winning titles all the time, and how have they sort of got back to that point now? Because obviously we're in a successful period where Liverpool look like they're going to win title after title.
I think both of them are brilliant for the football club, but different people, obviously. Jurgen has his way of working and the development of what he did and what the success he had, and he built up that success. He wasn't handed it in a plate, he built it up and made a huge contribution towards it. And Arne's come in, and last year he only bought Chiesa, and the goalkeeper, but kept the goalkeeper out on loan at Valencia. So he's done fantastic. And because the manager makes the right decision, doesn't he? If you make the right decision, you've got a good chance. If you've got the proper players coming in, you're making the right decisions, you're a hard team to beat. And I think that's what happened. That's happened with Jurgen, and that's what's happened with ARNE now. And they're really good people in different ways.
I mean, obviously Jurgen was like a force of nature, wasn't he, when he came in, his personality. But when Arne Slot came in, I almost feel like...
You were celebrating, weren't you?
I just thought when Jurgen Klopp left, the personality drop or the sort of the challenge of him leaving would be enormous. I think what Arne Slot's done in 15 months is absolutely incredible. And the way in which he represents the club, the way in which he carries himself in team, you know, in the interviews, the way in which he makes decisions, I think he's been absolutely flawless since he's come in. Would you agree with that? Would you?
Yeah. Yeah, different.
Yeah.
To Jurgen, right? Jurgen had his way, Arne did his. And I think it was brilliant what Jurgen did in his last game.
Absolutely.
When he started singing Arne Slot.
You like that, don't you, Roy?
You like that.
Go on, Roy, give us a rendition.
That's a song, Roy.
Later.
So it was brilliant. So it was like...
Hand over.
Aye, it was like Jurgen giving him the all clear to go ahead. But he is a really good man.
Yeah.
Do you like watching this team, Kenny? Do you like watching the Liverpool team now, what they're doing, scoring goals? And
I don't think the team that we've got at the moment is at its best. I think they've got a couple of months to go, and then you'll see them. I think the wee fella Watts is very, very clever boy, right? Football-wise, he just needs to get on the same planes with the one in front of him.
you get a joy watching them, the way they play, scoring goals, whatever they might be giving up at the back. They're,
you can
they're
always,
entertaining. They're entertaining to watch, aren't they?
They're entertaining to watch, but just, there wouldn't be so much winning as entertaining. I think the winning would be more important than the entertaining. And by the way, we've had a couple of scares this year, although we've come out on the right side of it. But I think the players are set, but they've no had time. I think giving them a bit of time to get used to playing with each other, I think you'll see.
You're going to see something.
I think they'll be better than what they are now. Although at the moment it's satisfactory, isn't it?
It's a good start.
I was going to ask you about Wirtz because I thought there's no one better to talk about him in respect to the position and understanding that position than you. What do you think? I mean, it's obviously he's got talent. What do you think he needs to do just to sort of, you said about connecting up top, what things when you watch him do you get excited by? What things do you think he would need to do just to get to that next level, which he obviously will?
What he needs to do is, the first thing he needs to do is what he's doing at the moment. He's great at taking the ball into feet. He'll open himself up and the pass has beat you, but he's still got control of it. Or he'll take it the other way back past you to go that way and you're going this way. He can see what's in front of him, right? And once you get to, I mean, I saw Isaac the other day there in the second half when he came on, I think, and he was talking to one of the boys about like his movement, what he would do, and the boys sit and listen to him. And once they get on the same wavelength, by the way, that wee fella, he could open a can of soup.
Like you and Rushy, will it? It'd be like you and Rushy.
No.
Oh, not that good.
Aye.
How long did that take? How long did that take, you and Ian Rush, in terms of the connection? Because that's what you're talking about with Wirtz and Isak or Wirtz and Ekatike. How long would it take for that connection to happen where you just become...
Could happen right away.
Yeah.
No, but for us, it was training for us. We did it in training. Yeah. So that's where you learn it first, isn't it? Yeah. And then, as Rushy said, I told him, I said, Rushy, if there's a space there, just leave it. I'll play it and you go for it. Simple.
Yeah. I want to ask you about Virgil van Dijk and then take you back to your great friend and probably the greatest centre-half of his era, Alan Hansen, and try and think about sort of those two. I'm not going to ask you, I sound like a super fan here asking you who's the best player. You've probably been asked this question a million times. Who is the greatest Liverpool centre-back? Sorry, Jamie Carragher as well. Yeah. Who's the greatest Liverpool, Van Dijk or Hansen?
Have you not learned nothing over this last hour? He will never answer that.
I know. Do you have something? He might do that.
Give us one, Kenny, just give us one.
You are going to answer this question.
Definitely.
So you've got to pick one centre-back.
By the way, you've left a few out.
I have left some out.
Phil Thompson.
I have left some great centre-backs out, but I'm just picking the two that are sort of probably the standout ones in the public's eye?
I think for myself, he's probably more physical.
Yeah, Van Dijk, yeah.
He's more capable of playing, like defensively. Once somebody wants to barge into him, it's no a problem. So he'd maybe be a wee bit stronger than Big Al. But I'll tell you, if you've got either of those two at centre-back, you wouldn't be disappointed.
Yep.
And but I don't know if the two of them could play together, because they're both left-sided, weren't they? Big Al used to come out with the ball at his feet and go like that. That meant I'm struggling. Come off. He was struggling. And I remember watching Virgil playing for Celtic, and he used to break out for the back with it and go forward.
Yeah.
He scored a goal at St Johnstone, I think. He went forward for his in defensive spot, went forward, had a couple of dribbles and wrapped it into the net. He could do with that. Could do with that here. I never saw Big Hansen do that. I saw him try to set me up at Old Trafford. He used to get terrified. He used to get terrified when he went through. And he'd go, it's only him and the keeper. But United used to play a really high line. So they all pushed up, and he chipped it over the top. Right?
That, yeah.
And
Yes.
And then carried on.
Did he square it to you?
Eh?
Was that the one where...
No, he squared it to me. He set a dummy first. He broke through.
You've seen a chance. I
I've
watched that
seen the
recently,
chance.
yeah.
I watched it, saw it, yeah.
I've seen it, yeah.
Right? The goalie goes backwards. And Big Hand, he panics.
Yeah.
And I've ran up and I've joined. There's nobody there, isn't it? And he goes like that. And set a dummy. So I took a step forward.
I've seen it, yeah.
He checked. And I went, oh no. And he played it across. And it was, to be fair, it wasn't the best pass. It was a wee bit behind me. They tried to drag it in. And I was outside the post and I went, oh no. And I missed it. And the linesman standing like that. I went, oh, you're right. Well done.
Happy with that one. Kenny, you speak so much about being a family man and how proud you are of your family. I know you guys have worked with Kelly loads and I think she's absolutely fantastic, but how proud are you now her doing Match of the Day? Because I think it's a great thing that she's doing that.
Well, I think for whatever they do, I think they've been a success in everything they've done.
Yeah.
She's done really well. For television, and she's probably one that's at the front. Paul's done brilliantly as well for the walk of life he's walking.
Yeah.
They've got two sisters. One of them really helps Marina with the charity, and the other one works with the jockey club, and they're doing a fantastic job for themselves.
Yeah.
And I think all of them can be pleased, and certainly their parents are very pleased with what they've done. So you just point them in the right direction and hope that they do well. I mean, the thing for Kelly, when I left school, you left school on a Friday and your ma's got a paper going, there you are, find a job, right? So, well, how am I going to find a job leaving school at 15? So I was a van boy. So he delivers parcels, school parcels, and they used to deliver them to the university, Glasgow University. It was educational books. I never read them. I just carried them and delivered them. So first stop, Glasgow University. I thought, geez, it's the first time I've been here. So I took it in. Then Kelly went to Glasgow University. She qualified to get in. And she was then, I think it was further maths or something, right? Something, I didn't even know what it was. And then, so we were at Newcastle at the time, and I was asked to do something for a prize or something. And Marina said, no, I'm not doing it with you. I'm not coming. And Kelly went, I'll come. So Kelly and I are doing this advert, and she went, oh, I really enjoyed that. And then Richard Keys phoned up and says, oh, Kelly, would you fancy having a go at the telly? She went, oh, I'll go. So she went down and got a screen test, right? And then he went, oh, come back Monday for a week. After about 2 days, he went, oh, no, you can have the job.
Brilliant.
And I went, no, you can't have the job. She said, why no? I said, because I want to see you getting a presentation at Glasgow University, right? With all the gear on and everything.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to miss out on that. I said, I couldn't get one. I was expecting you to get it. There's no chance of Paul getting one.
Paul, and you come. You've took 2 barons to there.
So that was it. And the wee man, he had a higher IQ than any of them. Paul. Honest to God. And I'm not winding you up, a higher IQ. So he took to football.
Oh, brilliant.
So they're all right. They're all very
They've all
comfortable.
done well, eh?
Yeah.
Result.
Well, Ian, you've got to go.
Apparently. But I'll wait till Kenny goes. I'm not going before Kenny. That's disrespectful.
Is that what George Graham said to you?
So many times.
Because we're just going to talk about Roy and Kenny now. We're going to talk about... No, we've done that before, haven't we?
Did he try to sign Roy? What happened with that?
We've seen each other since, right?
Nice, it's nice. And it's all, it's water under the bridge
man,
now.
yeah.
Nice.
Is your greatest achievement on the pitch at Blackburn? With that as a manager, and what would you say is your greatest achievement? I mean, you've done everything.
No, I don't have a... I don't have a league table.
You should have a league table.
I'm just fortunate to have won one.
I'm actually going to ask you for your top 3 moments in your life in football that you think that sort of sit there as player and manager. I'm going to put you on the spot. You have to give us a top 3, Kenny. You're going to give us a top 3.
Scoring a penalty against Rangers.
Number 1?
That was my first Old Firm game.
Yeah.
2, by winning a European trophy to get tour of the city. 3, getting 102 caps for Scotland, probably. So, a bit selfish, but no matter. I'm quite happy with that.
That was a great top 3.
Yeah, it's a good top 3, yeah.
Is it?
I remember 2 goals against Belgium. Was it against Belgium?
Yeah.
We get
Jesus, 2 goals you scored against Belgium.
I know, but we get beat 3-2.
Yeah, but so what? We're strikers. Can we talk about the goals? 2 strikes, amazing goals for Scotland.
I think the iconic one for, there's probably 2 for Liverpool, isn't he? The one you've just mentioned, the European Cup final, the little dink.
The little
That was
dink
a
at
signature
Wembley.
for yourself, but also that's probably in your first season, almost your last season as a player manager. The goal at Chelsea. Just,
Yeah.
That was worthwhile. That was the first season in the management.
Yeah.
And Everton were Macaulay Culkin. That's it, innit? They were home alone, weren't they?
Yeah.
They get beat at Oxford and just went south.
Yeah.
We won 11 out of the last 12, and that was one of them. So, 23 minutes. She's on the big clock at the back, didn't it? And the referee turned to run to the punters. The referee went, "Calm down." Calm down. No, that was an unbelievable achievement with the players for everything that come back to where they were. It's not the easiest place to go either, is it? At that time. And then the final. Afterwards, Big Jan was magnificent in the final.
Yeah.
Whew. That was us up and running.
He was tough to get the ball off Jan, wasn't he, when he was in a good place?
I'm
You
out.
just couldn't get the ball off him, could you?
I'd have to leave you.
Speak to him.
I'd have to leave everybody.
I think...
Thanks for popping in.
Well
I
done.
love you. Thanks for popping in. See you later.
See you later.
See you two
See you
later.
later.
See you later.
I can't not hug you. Take it easy.
The train stop after 6 o'clock, do you
Well,
think?
I can't miss it.
No.
Everybody, I love you.
Is he getting full pay for that?
Paul, come and sit in. Come and
Come
sit
on,
in.
come on,
Paul. This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by ARNE Clothing.
Paul, all good?
Hello.
All right?
Yeah.
Hi, Paul. You okay?
Sticking in for Friday.
I know, yeah. Pedro, thanks for popping in.
So talk to us about your dad.
What him up?
What's he like as a dad?
Just starting to find out who it is. You saw me play, I must have been adopted. Well, do you know what? Because it's mad. You do, obviously, with producers on a documentary that's coming out, and like you start reliving things about your dad that you grew up and you don't really take it all in because you're so young when he's doing a lot of things that he's doing. And then actually working on it and going back and seeing some of the things, you know, you can't help but be proud.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty impressive, you know, and it's like all your kids as well are going to look back and do the same when they go. You maybe don't take it all in when you're younger, but then when you actually look back and upon reflection, it's pretty cool, man, to have a dad that's gone and done that.
Did anything surprise you when you're going through sort of like the stories and the documentaries? Anything you didn't know about?
Do you know, a lot of it's like some of it's like Roy of the Rover stuff, you know, it's like even, I mean, if you think now in modern day football, being a player manager and then not playing for the first 25 games of the season, and Alan Hansen comes out and says it's the worst Liverpool team he's ever played in. He puts himself in a team, they won 11 out of 12 and win a double. I mean, you look at it and you go, fuck, that doesn't happen. You know, it's never going to happen again. You know, even after Hillsborough, but I've obviously, the first game after Hillsborough that's not in the documentary was Liverpool Celtic. And so Celtic reached out and said, listen, we'll play you a game. And there were some players, rightly so, that were not sure whether they could play or didn't feel like playing. He put himself in the team and scored the first goal after Hillsborough. Liverpool went back, and it was after that he went and played Forest in the replay. So it's things like that, the mentality that come on. I think what he's not really said, and it's his will to win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That I've never known, I've never experienced anyone in my life, and I've been involved in football a little bit, but I've never known anybody with the will to win. Yeah. That he's
But you mentioned the Alan Hansen quote. Did he say that during the season when you were the manager?
Yeah.
And were you
No, I think he said it did he say it publicly? I thought he said it privately.
All right, he said it privately. Okay. Oh, sorry, okay.
I said it to you, didn't he?
Right.
Yeah.
We were actually talking about that earlier on today about who's the last player to go on to be a player manager at the level. I mean, no one's gone and done what you've done with the title, but we're talking about like Jean-Luc Vialli, Ruud Gullit that did it, and Glenn Hoddle did it at Chelsea. Chelsea had a period, didn't they, where they did it. But
Rob Orr was at Middlesbrough. Did Rob?
Brian Robson did it at Middlesbrough. But no one's, I mean, it would be unthinkable that a top club, one that's at the very top of the league, would appoint a player as a manager and then they would go on and be successful.
But also, I think it's the media commitments now. You wouldn't have time.
No.
You know, you wouldn't have time to be able to train in the morning and do all the media commitments afterwards and then be fresh for training the next day. It's the media commitments that have changed really in football.
They probably make you do interviews as a manager and then a player.
Yeah.
Double.
But all like even now, all the video analysis and all the meetings that you have to have with different departments, you wouldn't have the time in the day to do. I think it's impossible.
Yeah, great.
Paul, I wanted to just mention something because when we mentioned earlier on about you watching us train.
Yeah.
But obviously when Kenny left, you know, you were still coming to the School of Excellence.
Yeah.
You know, so Kenny's moved on from manager. And I always remember, always something that sticks in my mind as a kid, you know, we're only, what were we, 11, 12 or something like that. So he's still training with us, and you think of like the sense of humour of Kenny. And I always remember you saying about your dad being on the dole.
I never got that bite for Christmas, did I?
It's always stuck in my head. I remember us talking, he's training with us, but his dad's the man, he's just left, and we're all like a bit like, almost trying to be his, Kenny's son and that type of thing. And that I always remember it. Always sticks in my head a little, and you're saying that.
Well, most of the dads on the door then, no? Was it?
You said they were.
What was it like as a dad in terms of sort of, you know, supportive, encouraging, strict, discipline? Because obviously when you think of him as a winner, you think then of that competitiveness, don't you? Did that come into his sort of parenting?
Yeah, football came first. So it was like, my mum ran the house.
Right.
You know, it was an old-fashioned household where it was your dad, old-fashioned. You know, you wouldn't really think about going to him if you had something you wanted to speak to him about. You'd always speak to your mum.
Yeah.
And that's the way they wanted it, and it worked perfectly together. So he went out as the man of the house, went out to work, old-fashioned. You know, things have changed now, but wanted to go out to work. My mum took care of the house. So it was, you know, if we were under strict orders not to make a noise on a Friday afternoon when he had his sleep, and you know, don't let your dad sleeping, and that was the priority. You know, we knew that, and to be fair, you know, I think my mum deserves as much credit for what he achieved as what he does, because she was a massive part of it as well.
Yeah, talk to us about your mum.
Yeah,
and the role that
she used to pick a good team.
Yeah. No, she was always in the background, you know. She was all of our rocks, really. You know, yours especially. You know what I mean? And then when she got diagnosed with cancer, it was like, wow, how does that happen? You know what I mean? To someone who's always been there for all of us, and then now you want to help her. It was, and I think that probably affected you more than you'd ever show. But I think he found it really stiff, because he'd always probably in football been able to fix any problem that he faced, you know, whether it's through management or through football. When it's your wife and it's a health thing and it's totally out of your control, I think that probably affected you as much as anything I've ever seen, if I'm honest.
There's one thing I never told you. You were adopted, you know.
You can't get an answer out of it the same as me. That makes me feel better.
I'll tell you. So it took me a long time to realise you've got to make him think it's his idea. So, like, you know, if you think, do you know what someone's never done? Do you know, it'd be a great idea. No one's ever done this. 2 weeks later, do you know what? I've just had an idea. Do you know? No, I swear.
You talk about that and how it affect the family, but how you turn that situation into what you've got now in terms of, you know, the Marinas Foundation and what you've done for people, or certainly, you know, women especially, in Liverpool is sensational.
Yeah, I think so. I think when you correct me if I'm wrong, but when my mum first started having chemotherapy, a city like Liverpool didn't have a chemotherapy unit. My mum had to drive through the tunnel to Clatterbridge, and if you're from Liverpool, you know the psychological barrier going through that tunnel.
Over the water.
Yeah. It feels like you're leaving. So she said, well, if I get better, I'm going to build one. And she did. And then the foundation has gone on from strength to strength from there.
Fantastic.
Didn't you get married on our 21st birthday?
Aye.
So you don't forget a birthday or your anniversary.
I'll not be in trouble for both, will I? I'll have forgot them.
Oh.
No, 21st. We get married on our 21st birthday.
Wow.
Seemed a good idea at the time. And you know what? I got Tuesday off, right? Get married and get the Tuesday off. No, we get married on the Monday off, and then Tuesday off. Big Joke said, I'll see you Wednesday. I said, oh, thanks.
You only got one day for your honeymoon.
Aye. Everybody else was off.
Oh.
Monday or Tuesday.
So it was always football was a priority.
That was my mum chose that. She didn't want to be alone with me.
Get yourself back in.
Yeah.
And how was it making the documentary?
It was brilliant. Honestly, it was almost like, for me personally, it was just, obviously working with, as you got to mention him, the guy's best at what he does, to be honest. And it was lucky, really, because he turns out he's a Liverpool fan. And the first game he ever went to was Liverpool-Arsenal at Highbury. He saw my dad playing, he said, right, all his brothers supported Arsenal. He said, I'm supporting Liverpool now. So it was like a passion project for him to try and tell his story to the younger generation. Yeah. So for me, it was like, but for me, it was my opportunity as well to really go into depth and learn everything he's achieved, really, because some of it, as I said, you know, it's my dad and I feel uncomfortable saying it, but it just won't be done again.
No.
What's it like? What was it like for you, Paul? Well, obviously, we played against each other when we were kids, but what was it like for you having Kenny Dalglish as your dad?
Yeah.
You know, when you're starting off in the career he's had, and
I had the default answer, which was just sarcastic when anyone would ask me. So I don't know, I've never had another one.
Yeah.
But the truth is,
you said you might have done before.
Yeah, I did. I wish I did.
Oh, by the way, that's defamation of his mother's character.
Right said Fred, I think it was. But basically, it was, what I would say is, I think, in your experience that you're seeing your son players now, but I think what it does is it may open a door at the beginning, but once you walk through it, there's a lot more pressure on you. And I think your level of expectation for success is so high. You know, if I could play quite well, and it'd be your shite. You know, never be as good as your dad. I remember scoring 2 goals in one game, and someone said, "Well done today, Paul. You'll never be as good as your dad." So it was like that level of expectation of coming through. It was tough, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't want to change what he did. It did make things more difficult for yourself because, like, if you look back at my career, you can maybe say, yeah, not bad compared to the average, but if you compare it to him, it's, you know, it's Paul. So it's just, that was probably the toughest bit, more the comparisons, and it's a very difficult level to live up to, really.
The best goal ever, he played for Scotland under 21s. I went up to watch it at Airdrie, and I'm watching the game. Wee Gordon Strachan's son's playing as well, Gavin, wasn't he? And I can't even remember who they were playing. He only scores, doesn't he? And we're in the box. You've got mobile phoned up. I said, the wee man's just scored. She went, no, I said, he is. I said, but Marina, I can't speak anymore. I'm too emotional. Put the phone down. That was the best goal for me ever. Nothing, no mine. His, with Scotland.
That's incredible.
Aye.
Well, what a place to
That's a
finish.
lovely moment.
And it's absolute privilege. It really is to have you on the show. And thank you, Paul, for bringing it up today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It's great having a wee chat and a bit of sense of humour and a laugh. It's great to say it's no all blood and thunder in it, in the footballing world.
Brilliant. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.